Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, y'all usually don't see me standing up. I'm saying who's online. Okay. Y'all usually don't see me standing up, but what I wanted to do was play a little Mozart, just a little bit. Do, 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 do. It's going to be low. You may not can hear it, but I'm going to play it. And I'm playing it because I wanted y'all to know how I felt. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me sit down. I had to play that for a second. Now let's get to the business of the day. So I am going to finish reading from the script of Project 1, Section 5. Section 5. Let's do it. Thank you, cybersecurity. Now don't let them fall now. You start letting them drop. I know where y'all live. Fort Meade. Not Fort Meade. See, I messed up. Is it Fort Meade? Okay. So we're going to start on the paper. What paper I mean is we're going to start on, I have to sign back in probably. Let's see. You're actually on step 6. Okay. Where were we at? I'm looking for those 3 questions. There they are. Bam. So we got the 3 questions. I'm back in the game. I'm afraid to even push the W button. You never know what's going to pop up with a word. What a word, what a word, what a word, what a word. So I'm going to take y'all. I'm going to take y'all out. I know where y'all live, cybersecurity. Like I said. Okay. Now we got the documentation up that we need, and now I'm gonna let y'all see what I see. Oh, I like this. Trump 2028. That's and then they hid. You know, I'm gonna get another Trump hat. I don't know why. Oh my God. I'm not even gonna go into it. Y'all just want me to talk about Trump. I would love to talk about him, but uh Lily, that sounds like a password to me. Just like Elon Musk says his child name sounds like a password. They asked him what was his child's name. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me go. Stop. Y'all trying to sway me off. Okay. We're taking care of business here, you guys. Taking care of business. Woo, woo. Okay. So um, here we go. We got that. This is a very good read. It really was. And I don't do reading too easily unless I'm interested. I have to internalize reading. I just don't read just for, you can read for production and you can understand, but I internalize when read. I have to do it that way. If you want to do your work right, make sure you sit up there and work hard and not plagiarize. Never plagiarize. I came close to it though. I don't think what I did was plagiarization. It used to be hard for me because I didn't focus or apply myself. We all have came. If you've been in a master's and you're going for your second master's, I've been in school almost 20 years, y'all. Ever since 2007 or '06, almost 20 years on and off. But it's okay, I enjoy school. I learned what myocardial infarction is, which is a heart attack. Myo is the muscle, cardio is the rhythm, infarction is unrelated rhythm or erratic rhythm. SOB, shortness of breath. Itis, inflammation. Um, OMA, like a tumor or some type of cancer, depending on if it's malignant or benign. Like I learned so many things, man. Like I used to go to Miller Mont and it was so special. I was learning about psychology there. Great school. That was my very first college I ever went to. And that's where I learned about all those great things. They used to love me in class because I'll be going I'll be going, man. We be in group, and that's what it was about. I never had a problem at Miller Mont. Never complained, never had a problem. We were all in a group and we were calling out. It was split amongst each other, and this was diverse in military groups. So it was like split amongst each other. We're calling out names to like Mayo, the muscle, cardio, the rhythm, you know, and it was many more, but I can't remember all of it. I don't study for that. I was a CNA, I was a counselor, you know. I started to go to LPN school to become an RN, but I saw how, they don't give out A's or B's. You have to, I listen, let me explain what I mean. UMGC don't give out A's or B's, nor does University of Phoenix. But, however, I feel like they should look at the work that's being put in and the meat of that complements the potatoes and the vegetables, you know. And all of these colleges that I went to, Hawaii Pacific University, I took a theory class there, some type of logic. It was a logic class. If you don't know what you're doing in logic, it's like Isaac Newton. It's like Isaac Newton. And Isaac was either a wizard or an alchemist, you might as well say. So let's see, my org future. I was right down the street when the Pentagon blew up. I saw the smoke coming from the Pentagon. It pissed me off. I was there when the riots happened, right down the street from the Mondawmin Mall riots. I was everywhere. I got a call from one of my friends saying, "Are you okay? The Mondawmin Mall has been raided by young whippersnappers." I'm like, "What the hell a bit? I'm okay. I'm not at that mall." And there's mothers whooping their children home. The police officers don't really want to do crap to the children, but they have to spray them. It was terrible, man. It made my heritage look bad. I hope that they can reflect on that day of looting, and what they were doing was not productive. This is the new wave of Baltimore. How do you think Baltimore is now? People are dying off. That's what's on my mind. Describe 3 ways in which my org's future will be different from how my org's is today. Let's look at the chart. Okay, focus. That's what I need. Is this the, hold on. Oh, surveys. Why? I can't. Okay, we have to. Okay. So, participant 47, I can't speak for everyone, but I know that several development companies have been scheduled at inconvenient times. Should I write some of this down? Such as when I've been on business travel for meet or during important industrial industry events. And then I met Marty Kaiser. Some people like, who is Marty Kaiser? That guy, they made Enemy of the State about him, and Gene Hackman and Will Smith was about Marty Kaiser. He only made $5 from the movie. He created that movie. And he willingly gave it to producers, he told me. And he's what they built with the NSA, FBI, CIA. Um, he helped the Russian wave, I don't know what you call it, um, to spy on the Russians. Um, Soviet Union, I guess they call it. I don't know, but he was a part of that wave, and I never got to have coffee with him. He's I'm his number one fan. Such as when I've been on business travel for me or Exxon Airport. So several development opportunities been scheduled at inconvenient times. Several development opportunities. Wow, that's freaking messed up. Such as when I have been on business travel. So development opportunities been scheduled at inconvenient time. That's one person. These must be surveys, feedback on what me org is doing. Participant 33, because I'm never able to get a reimbursement for things like conferences, I can't afford to go to them. I feel like I'm being kept back for the most advanced approaches in my job. Almost like me org is trying to keep me from being competitive. Damn, I'm getting mad at my org. Just playing. It's a fictitious company. 2 months ago, my team submitted a report to our supervisor. He sent it back and said we had to redo it. Damn. But didn't give us any confidence. Oh, god damn. Even when he asked him how we can make it better, he said it was our job to figure it out. Wow. He said the only best way to learn is from failure, but you setting them up. I mean, I didn't think the report was a total. That's exactly what my teacher did to me. He did that. I'm sorry to have to keep recapping on my teacher, but he sat up there and he gave me the answers and said, "Now go find how to do it." And so I had to literally go through a tutor to help me find, and I learned how to get the answers. Now, ask me now, I don't know how to get them because it wasn't a repetitive thing. But he gave me the answers, and I'm like, no way I'm going to find this crap in Excel. So I asked every time he gave me an answer, I said, how did you get this? And let me try to get it myself. I never said, give me the answers and I'll just take the answers, grab them, and run and skedaddle. I want to learn. Don't teach me something so you can be smarter than me and try to take advantage of whatever power you have over me. Because I wouldn't do that to you, but would you do that to me? I've seen it being done to me. He said that's the best way to learn from failure. I mean, I didn't think the report was a total failure. Participant, when would I have time? I'm putting out fires all day, answering emails. I guess if there's one skill I'm improving, it's my ability to write short, fast replies, and I have 5 or 6 instant message conversations, going across different departments at the same time. That's kind of improvement I'm making here. More negative than positive. I'm encouraged to develop innovative ways to do my job. Wait, go back up. So it was more, this one was more, 6 was neutral, 6.1 was neutral, 4.2, 42.3 was negative. So it was slightly more positive than negative. But this one is direct feedback, anonymous. Participant 14. Everyone I talk to says that managers only seem to care about following protocols and that they are not interested in trying the different approaches. We're told so long as we do it the way we are supposed to, they have our backs. But if we try something new and it blows up in our face, then it's on us. That really discourages some people. I did have one supervisor for a while who set up kind of a anonymous submit new ideas or concern box outside their office. I left a note in there, something about how we could use new collaborative tool, I think. A new collaborative tool, I think. And I saw it sitting there in a box for weeks. It was a clear box, and I wrote the note on a pink piece of paper so I could tell it didn't move. Wow. I guess maybe you could say the manager encouraged me to innovate because he often says he doesn't care how I do my job, just that I get it in by the deadline. That is crazy. That's not that's where ethics come in at. They the middleman, the manager, they don't want to get slack from corporate. And corporate don't want to hear back from them. So they tell manager, I don't want to hear nothing from you unless it's something dealing with a lawsuit. Until then, however you shall manage is on you. And then the manager will sit up there, and that's pressure enough right there. But because they got that power where as long as they don't hear back from the corporate, they're good, they sit up there and, take advantage of the situation. I guess maybe you can say my manager encouraged me to innovate because he said, like, you're supposed to tell your employees, I care how you do the job, and you must get it in by the deadline. And if you have any questions or you need to collaborate with teamwork, then do it XYZ. Let's plan for this. Every 3 to 6 months is the evaluation. So I guess I'm sort of free to do it any way I want, which is kind of innovative. Although maybe it doesn't really encourage me to innovate. See? Because you don't care. I feel empowered to do my job. This was direct feedback anonymous. More negative, more neutral, and less neutral and moderately positive. I feel empowered to do my job. Did I read this? Oh, okay. Positive 33.5, neutral 23.4, negative 4.3. I wish I could play music. Music is my life. I will breeze through this. Participant 7, my department has lost so many people in the past 2 years, and the company isn't replacing them fast enough. Now, my department has lost so many people, and the company isn't replacing them. Now I have to do, now I'm having to do the work and at least 2 to 3 people because we just don't have the human resource to spread the work out. So I'm basically doing 3 jobs. But I feel like I'm not doing any of them to the best of my ability. That's a scary thing. So I'm basically doing 3 jobs, but I feel like I'm not doing any of them to the best of my ability. When I was hired to work on the Leap app, they really didn't know the full scale of what we needed. Wow, you brought in the Leap app. That's true. That's true. I remember that. They did not know the app was jacked the fuck up. And it was so crazy because it was a military app. It was meant to be jacked up. But we were to see through the holes and sit up there and figure out what needed to be done for the Leap app. When they realized they haven't hired enough people for the roles, I saw people being dragged in from other departments. Oh my God, that's a team with pretty much zero development experience being tasked with work that was not directly related to their background. That is crazy. How is I supposed to do my job when I'm spending half of my time explaining to the people above, below, and around me how they need to do their jobs? How was I supposed to? Oh my God, they leave people hanging like that at jobs? That's messed up, man. I never I never had that happen to me. I've had jobs. Like I said, I was a counselor for 3.5 years, but I I never had that happen where they put me in a role that wasn't consistent with the role I learned about. Let me think long and hard. No, no, not really. They made me a expertise janitor in the military. You know, we always didn't see eye to eye in the military. It wasn't peaches and roses, but I'll tell you this. I learned quite a bit, more than a person that's been in 20 years have. They may did PT and they may went to war. I went to Korea, I went to Fort Jackson, I went to Fort Lee. I've been to Hawaii thanks to my ex-husband, and I thank them for that. So that is my career in a nutshell. It wasn't that I rode off into the sunset on a purple horse, you know, or got a purple heart or any of that. But I did contribute. They knew I was good. And therefore, maybe they saw the future and saw what I'm trying to do. Because I lollygagged. I lollygagged for almost 2 years. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wasn't serious enough. And it feels like it's the perfect fit this last bout with my second master's right in my hands almost. And I just want to make it work. I am proud of myself. I like to be extraordinary, and they gonna make UMGC gonna make me work for it. We can come to a resolution, but I still have to do this in order to prove a point. Whether I win or lose, I'm still putting the ball in motion because it's like I that you see how I keep going back to him. He mentally abused me throughout that course. He used what power he had against me. He abused his power. And I feel very bad. This isn't made up language, but I feel very bad because it's like, why would you do something like that? I wouldn't do something like that to you. Some people get a thrill. Well, I heard that when we started the Leap app, the company put most of its funds towards hiring new people and special projects. The rest of us saw our request for technology and additional lines frozen. It really crippled our productivity. Mm. So this business came at a halt they're at a plateau where they're not looking to innovate and produce any more ideas, which they're making money. Sort of like, for instance, Ford is always making money. If you get any stocks, Ford is very smart. But if you get any stocks, go to Ford. Go there because they're not they're making money. They're making money steadily. They sustain almost a century, and they're just 13, $14 a stock. And great company. It's not going off the top, or it hasn't reached a plateau, because the more when electrical wave cars came out, that was the new and improved. People wanted electrical Fords. You know, I had a Ford Focus. That was my second car. I had a Honda, a 1989 or 92, no, 90 Honda Accord. Then I had I don't want to say what year. I don't want to, that's giving away proprietary information. So, but that wasn't never registered. So if I gave away every other thing, it would have been proprietary information. I've never seen that on a bank report. Well, I heard when it started to leave, the company put the funds towards hiring people in special projects. Good. The rest of us saw requests in technology. Hi, EJ. Technology, much respect for you. I got to give you a shout out. What's up? Request for technology or additional lines frozen. It really, okay, I said that already. One of our coworkers kept pasting these ridiculous comic strips on the outside of his cubicle. It always got some kind of blonde joke on it. I mean, every single one. I guess I should talk to HR about it. I just feel silly complaining. I mean, they publish it in the newspaper. How bad can it be? But I always wonder what he thinks about me when I work with him. What if we could just put an antenna up to people's heads, or use a satellite types to just. Y'all haven't seen that commercial or that show? It was one show I was watching, and they was like, "What am I doing today? I don't know." And then another person saying, "Am I going to cook greens or rice, or greens and rice?" And another saying, "I must clean the dog today, definitely today." And someone else is saying, "Why?" You get the picture? Do you get the picture? If we can, like, we're almost there. I mean, we're here. We're all the way up here now, but we're not here. They don't want us to be there yet. But we have the Neuralink, and that itself is mind reading technology. So don't ever underestimate what I'm saying. Estimate what I'm saying. I just feel silly complaining. I mean, they publish it in the newspaper. How bad can it be? But I always wonder what he thinks about me when I work with. So she's thinking, what do he thinks about me? Because he has um, comic strips in his cubicle. So that's the sense of insecurity and not wanting to work with. And I've had it, and I have it. It's nothing. This is what I'm just drawing a conclusion on. Why are you worried what he thinks about you? Um, it should be, how can you execute with him the job? Who cares what he thinks? Who cares what you think he thinks? Just do the job. Run your race. Whenever I alert my team leader about some impediment or other to performing my job, she says her job is to evaluate work, not solve my problems. That doesn't seem right to me. So somebody's tattletelling to about others performing their job. Wait. So basically, she has some type of impediment, disability. She says her job is to evaluate work, not solve your. Oh, that is disgusting. She's too scared to say something, so she just said, "That doesn't seem right to me." I was in North Carolina working with a client, and it seemed as though everyone in my department was on vacation. I could not get any response to my request when I emailed or called my org headquarters. I felt like they just left me out there on my own. Whoa, what in the? Employees are recognized, thought I would say it. Employees are recognized, I may say it, I may not. Employees are recognized when they do a good job. Let's see. Positive. Oh, negative response in middle. Okay. I swear every meeting I go to, my supervisor always praises the same three people, the same three people every time, like the rest of us don't do shit. I've been here on so many teams, so many where the lead consultant takes all the credit and the rest of us get nothing. I've been at Me Org almost from the beginning. I love working here. I love what we do. But 2 years ago, my boss position opened up in my department. I've been here longer than anyone else. I've saved my boss hide more times than I can count. But when I, damn, she is bitten. But when I went to apply for it, what proof did I have? He never nominated me for any kind of award or anything. So they hire externally. It's been the same for me since then. I've been here longer than anyone else. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes my supervisor will give us a candy bar. Seriously, I'm being like totally serious. We get a candy bar and he'll say, "You did a great job on that thing you did. Here's a candy bar." Yeah, I think of better ways. I like to be thanked. What the hell am I saying? OMG. Personal, which question was this? Anonymous. It was anonymous. Personal favoritism is not tolerated in the workplace. Positive 37.8, neutral 24.0, negative 48.2. So direct feedback, anonymous. The same people always get access to the best clients, the prestige clients. I've been here a long, long time and I've seen it over and over again. I guess they just the best consultants, but it makes the rest of us feel like we'll never get a chance to prove ourselves. How hard is it to try to prove yourself? That's all I want to do. Prove that I can maintain a business, get on with my life, probably get a farm, get some adoptive or foster children that can go on generation, given a chance for foster and you know whatever the others should foster and adoption of children. Yeah. So that's what I would like to do. There are definitely certain cliques, if that's what you mean. I just want to help the younger generation, just like Trump wants to. There are definitely certain cliques, if that's what you mean. In my sections, our supervisors rounds up people for lunch. There's like two or three of us in the department who are never, ever invited. We call them teachers' pets. They're always the first ones called on in the meetings and always greeted with a smile. That's the one that goes, they do that undercover crap. They go to their houses and stuff. Whatever they do is on them. I don't want to know. But that's the ones that they go over to the house down there. That's their inner circle. My supervisor treats me with respect. 50% negative, neutral 9.3, positive 40.2. There's this one guy. It's just so clear that the director has it out for him. She actually rolls her eyes whenever he asks a question. He's a little weird, I guess, but it just seems rude. And the reason why I'm reading it like this is because this is small talk. I can understand this, but this other mumble jumble stuff, I have to analyze. This is very easy to analyze. This is just simple small talk. But it just seems rude to treat him like that. It makes me not want to talk because I don't want to hear, I don't want her doing that to me. Some managers think they're so big. This is the one group of managers that always hang out together in the hallway. They don't even say hi back to you when they're talking to each other. Last year, I let my supervisor know that I was going to have a leave early so I can get home to a show kid that was in and crying, sorry. It's just the way he he got so angry. He told me that there was a meeting that afternoon, and if I wasn't there, you actually messed up, UMGC. I like that. It's just the way he is. I love errors. That lets me know that I'm not the only one. Get it right. No, I'm just like. He told me that there was a meeting that afternoon, and if I wasn't there, I wasn't doing my job. I mean, come on. It was one meeting, so I stayed, and my kid was so disappointed. I don't want to be that kind of parent, but I was just so scared to lose my job. Wow. We have to travel a lot, because a lot of clients are remote and they need, people on site for a lot of consulting. It's hard to schedule things like vacation. It's like they don't want us to have lives or something. I say there have been a lot of pressure on a work site, even when we are given remote options. Managers will kind of briskly, if you submit for telecom days, will get kind of bristly. It's supposed to be one of the perks of working here, but my manager made me feel so guilty for even mentioning it that I don't bother. After they take their power, that I see the pattern, they take a piece of them because they got something they want. After I started taking my telecommute day, I felt found the tasks and jobs were sent. Now, before I get started, that's why we need I don't know the word. I just learned it. Cross culture or cross management. I found that the tasks and jobs were getting sent here were well and a lot less interesting. I was getting all sorts of really awful mundane work. It's like they see people who want to work remotely as disloyal or maybe second class citizens. Survey 7. I am satisfied with my involvement in decisions that affect my work. Wow, 56.2% negative. Okay. No, not at all. I don't think I made a single suggestion in a meeting that wasn't immediately shot down. So I just shut up now. I let the big wigs just tell me whatever I have to do. So long as I get a paycheck, what do I care? Everything here comes from the top. I mean, everything. It's a little ironic, isn't it? We're a consulting firm. We are consultants. That's what we do. We recommend ways to do things better. But in our own company, it's like they treat us like children who do not know how the world works. Take your power. Okay. I don't think my manager has ever asked me once what my opinion was about changes or new directions. Take your power. Our supervisors will ask us what we think and write down everything, but that's it. Not even a comment about on our suggestion. Just writes it all down and says, thank you. And says, I've heard everything you all had to say and we'll think about it. They always say that. I have no idea if they even look at those notes or their notes later. Seems like we always just end up doing what they said we were going to do in the first place. Okay, demographics, turnover, voluntary, involuntary. Um, that's getting fired, whether they fire you or you quit. Most of the reason my org turnover has been from client services department. Okay. I hope I'm saying this right. Retention and turnover. I hope I'm saying this right. About half of the turnover has been attributed to younger employees leaving for new opportunities. Okay, great. Employees who have been with me, I'm just going to say me or me, me. That's another way to say me. Me. Or I'm not conceited and I'm not saying that. I'm not being funny. I'm just saying I want to say it that way because it just sounds like what an Asian would say or a Vietnamese person. You see how me's is in there? You see? Do you get it? Me or at least 3 years tend to be staying, although there is a small decline. Okay. Employee turnover for me or has reached 35% annually. So 35% yearly. This put me or well above 18 through 20% industry average for leading consultant firms. 87 employees left the company last year, not including contracts. Terms. Mm, consultants, client managers, developers. By age. So basically, there's a big jump from 44 people. That's a large amount. I can't equip what a number that is off the top of my head, but the majority that left was the client service consultants. Then it kind of split up by eighths to sevenths to six to five to three to two to one. The median in this bad boy, if I had to think, is five. Because statistics, I hope I was right on that. I could be, I couldn't. I just hope because the middle, you got two threes, you got two eights, you got 1 7, 1 6. It could be 5.5 or 5.5. Yeah, 5.5. I'm just getting too deep into it. So anyway, the consultants left. By age, the majority was between 25 and 30. People under 25 were 15. So that's A, which is 25, 30, B, which is under 25, C, which is between 31 and 35. And then there's no outliers. Is there an outlier with this one? Yeah. Web team, one person left. They like, okay, everybody else is leaving. I guess I'll leave too. Um, Males left, more female. I heard more female complaints. You can read, and so it was like a lot of female complaints. Undisclosed. Um, Hispanic, 23%, white, 40%. So it goes A white, uh, B Hispanic, C It's only 44 or close to 50 million of us here. That's crazy, right? Um, let's see. And it's 360, a little bit less than that now, million people here. Just think how that's why they building all those gigafactories and producing more electricity because we are going to be populated. So not me per se. I don't know, but like I said, I would adopt someone's kid in a heartbeat or foster. But me having a kid, I don't know. No, no. White, 40%, A, Hispanic, B, African American, C, Asian, D, Native. The outlier is Native and other. What? How do you think the roles? I want y'all to close your eyes for a second. How do you think the roles would have reversed if Indian Native Americans owned, America? And then stop for a second. How do you? And then rewind. How do you think America would be if Hispanic was, you know, owned by America? Stop. Think about how it would be if an African or Asian was president of the United States right now in the earliest so-called years of 2025. However, these men, wherever they came from in the past, they knew the future. I'm not saying that what happened was right, but seeing as though I've heard the way certain people of native stature speak, and I'm not talking about natives like they're bad people, but I heard one particular one say that she was disgusted with Trump, and she believed that white men and women are disgusting to her. I never said that. I never agreed. I never sat up there and even entertained it. If anything, I went to go. It was crazy. I went to go. They saved me. It could have been a lot worse there had I not been so openly honest with them. But this woman was nuts. She said she saw Melanie and Trump at her front door. She said that the white man took the Native American culture. Think how they would be towards a white person if they were given power. We're not slaves no more. We're free. Free for businesses, free to do whatever we want. But there is something that they saw in the future. So have faith. Don't ever forget your faith. Whatever they're doing, it's working with God. Remember that. Whatever they're doing, you know, we're ahead. And we've always been ahead because we got some good people. Some people done gotten corrupt along the way. Some people are corrupt. But for the most part, they're good. They developed the Constitution for a day like this and wrote it in ink. Painted their pictures. They just had to paint their pictures with nice pastels to give territorial observation of what they did during that era. And even though we suffered, we don't have to suffer no more. Let us forget that. Not forget, but blow out the candle on racism because it's an invisible layer of something that should not even exist. If I could, I would wave a magic wand and get rid of the shit very quickly. End it. Tired of seeing it. And maybe one day that's what I'll invent. I have a lot of patents to do. So anyway, 40% white, non-Hispanic. I read that already. B was Hispanic, C was African American, D was Asian. Okay, under 3 years, length of, dang, 48% under 3 years, 3 to 10 years, 42. That's some It should be the other way around. Somehow, more incentives being done, something. 11 years is 10%. So you got a lot of baby boomers up in there. Exit interviews yield three major deciding factors for employee turnover. 30% stated that the direction in which MeOrg is currently headed was deciding factor in their departure. So I'm not going to get to do the homework today per se, but I'm going to read this. So I have a fresh, I let it digest. 30% stated that their relationship, maybe I feel like maybe I will, maybe I won't. 30% stated that their relationship with their supervisor was the deciding factor with their departure. Wow, their relationship with their supervisor. Their direction in which MeOrg is currently heading was a deciding factor. That opportunities at other organizations, at another organization, were a deciding factor. I'm messing with y'all. They like another error. We know what we put. Another organization were a deciding factor in their departure. Uh, Several other concerns emerged in the exit interviews. 35% stated that Leap app development in some way was interfered or some way interfered with their work. 26% stated that me or company culture contributed. These are the reasons why this is my skeleton right here for the first blast. Let me make sure. Where is it at? Where is it at? There we go. Yeah, the future. I'm gonna copy and paste it. And then develop my own questions. Okay. So the Leap app development in some way interfered with their work. The Leap app. So their future with the Leap app. So all I need is this. 26% stated that me or company. I don't need this percentage. I could have kept it in there, but no. I don't know how the hell I'm about to do this. Indicated that work-life balance. Indicated that, okay. Those are the concerns right there. Those are the concerns right there. 68% of the departing employees indicated that they were leaving me or for another employer. 25% indicated that they were still seeking employment. Down. They basically left and now they'd rather seek employment than be there. Okay. Results from the employee engagement survey reflecting decline. I don't know how to read this. Ooh. Survey 1, Survey 2, 11.5. So it declined the Survey 2 by 11.5. Hold up. Hmm. Well, I'm trying to see the correlation. So if you see me going back and forth, up and down, then I see the correlation. I'm thinking too hard about it, but I'm confused with the negative responses. Oh, the negative response, it went up. Okay, I get it. Wow, that's crazy. Positive responses went down by 11.5, 16.3, 2.9, 8.8, 9.5, 4.8, 14.8, 17.8. And the negative responses went up. My org hired an external vendor to conduct focus groups on connections with the employee engagement survey. Representatives from the vendor formed groups of 9 to 12 employees and asked them to respond verbally to the same questions that comprise the employee survey. Survey data accompanies each quote. This provides the context of how representative the quotes are of the majority opinion. The authors of this document believe that even minority held positions can be held with such conviction that they convey insight to some individuals' decisions to depart from the org. So I think it was mostly Hispanics that left. Hold on, let me go back up. Wait. Departures by race. Yep, mostly whites left. Okay. You know how black people, we say we got to keep a job. We can't afford to. Me or hire an external vendor to conduct focus groups in connection with the employee engagement survey. I said that already. Hold on. Review of current me org policies and practice. Okay, internally focused. Me org supports its employees with individualized attention and merit-based advancement. That's not what they do. Oh, I'm so glad I don't work for nobody. This is exactly what they do, yo. This is done through frequent performance reviews, long-term employment. Take that leap of faith even when you get told no. When you got told no infinite amount of times, there's no way you can get told no infinite amount of times unless the universe said, fuck you. I don't think you're productive in this universe. I think you need to sit up there and sit your ass down somewhere. No, I don't think that the universe did that to me because look at what I have behind me. I have a high school diploma. I have a associate's degree. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's degree, and I'm working on my second master's. And then after my master's, I plan on trying to swoozy on down to Yale, or whatever prestigious college, and get into their try to get into one of their secret societies. I know they ain't gonna let me in, but I know all about them, so it doesn't matter. Right, Skulls and Bones? Are y'all watching today? What is the number 304? What is the number? I would love to know. I have to look it up now. Hold on. We're gonna ask Rob. What is this? Oh my God, I shouldn't show y'all that. Proprietary information. Um, I'm thinking, how can I this is important. It's okay. Never mind. Internally focused, me or the reason why I'm not going to look it up is because then I have to close you guys out and then sit up there and get online and look it up and then add you guys and show you, it's worth it. Y'all are worth it. But still. Review of current me org policies and practice. Internally focused me org supports its employees with individualized, oh my God, saying it again, and merit-based advancement. This is done through frequent performance reviews, long-term employment considerations. Okay, they want to play. So we need to keep this the same. And then we need to reevaluate the actual managers and leaders about why their employees keeping like talking about this. Why is it that they keep complaining at me? Or what is the deal with this? The people have to be satisfied in order for production to happen. That's like whooping a carcass of a dead body. Nothing is going to happen. They all complain. Sexual harassment. One guy said some crap about giving her candy bars or something. That's crazy. Saying the next time I give you a candy bar, you better. Oh my God. And what else? Um, stay calm. It was so many of them. I'm trying to review them all. Let's go back up. Oh, it's on this page. They're keeping me from trying to be competitive. They development opportunities have been scheduled at inconvenient times. Never able to get in reimbursement. And they basically sat up there and said something totally different down here, dude. They lying, yo. No reimbursement, long-term employment considerations, tuition reimbursement, and flexible work options. New Org diversity policy. New Org supports an inclusive work environment and follows these guidelines. New Org adheres to a federal, state, and local laws to combat discrimination and ensure diverse and equitable workplace. All new employees are required to attend live face-to-face orientation programs, which runs every 2 months. NEORG leadership invites ongoing discussions and ways to ensure that employees are not treated fairly, but empowered to succeed and benefit from range of perspectives representative and NEORG staff. You know what I want to know? Who watches us at our jobs? We know there's cameras there. Sometimes there's not. But we just, this is beyond Donald Trump. I'm saying, like, who watches us, like, science wise? There was one UFO that sat up there. It was known, it was on the Joe Rogan experience. I look up to that guy. I wish I was intelligent like him. But he said that a spacecraft flew somewhere overseas in an elementary school, got out of the UFO, and I don't remember what happened, what they said happened, but nearly 400 people saw that, and then they rolled out, and it was like it never happened. Me org adheres to all federal, state, and local laws to combat discrimination and ensure diverse and equitable workplace. All new employees are required to attend live face-to-face orientation programs. It's 9:32. Am I early? Although me or promotes inclusive policies regarding diversity, HR data indicates the gap of onboarding regarding these policies. Whereas 100% of new employees receive diversity training as a part of their orientation. HR data indicates that only 85% of employees from 5 to 10 years and only 65% of employees of 10 years or more have completed this training. I hope nothing but greatness. I don't want to abuse this situation. This is 1/12/11/11 at 9:33 p.m. I hope nothing but good things to all you good people. And I hope blessings come your way. To all the bad people, this is your last shot at redemption. One day you're going to end up at a crossroads between heaven and hell and judgment. We all have. a file. And all new employees are required to attend live face-to-face orientation programs, which run every 2 months. Meet org leadership invites ongoing discussions and ways to ensure that all employees are not treated fairly but empowered to succeed and benefit from the range of perspectives represented in Meet org staff. Although MEORG promotes inclusive policies regarding diversity, HR data indicates a gap in onboarding regarding these policies. Whereas 100% of new employees receive diversity training as a part of their orientation, HR indicates only 85% of employees from 5 to 10 years and only 65% of employees of 10 years or more completed this training. Somebody complained of discrimination. If the white population is leaving, then it's not the white population doing it. It just don't, those statistics just don't sound right. Why would they leave unless they were being the ones um, racially attacked? That makes sense, right? Since there's 40% of white people that left, and 23% of Hispanic, and 20% of African American, and 13% of Asian, and 1% Native. I'm not lying. Paid off time or paid time off is earned on the following schedule based on a 40-hour work week. Have y'all ever correlated H and H, infinite and infinite? Like, for instance, heaven and hell, it starts with HE, both do. You know, H equal 8. These places are infinite. PTO is prorated based on the number of hours worked on an employee's regular schedule. Years of service, 1 to 5, 160 working hours per year, earned 3.077 hours for the full work year in the calendar. Almost 4 hours. Paid time off. This is about paid time off. Okay. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I'm gonna start right here, you guys. For every employee, quarterly reviews are an opportunity to discuss motivation, potential opportunities, and areas upon which to focus growth. Managers may offer incentives for employee performance, including recommendation for pay increases, professional development opportunities, and or endorsement for the employee spotlight. There need to be some accountability. There need to be some accountability. I'm not saying for the corporate world or the government or whoever to fire them, but what I am saying is maybe it all stems from the person above watching. They know that they must keep you in some type of stressful situation. I'm not saying all corporate people is like that, but or government, but um like just think about it for a second. Like a supervisor and a corporate leader watching that supervisor suffer because that supervisor, they know more than what they think they know about that supervisor. So they just observe until they're useless or they do their job and move on. They're either a liability or an asset to the cause. Oh, so yeah, either you work hard and you get rewarded, or you're just going to be a liability all your life. And I don't want to be a liability to Trump. For every employee, quarterly reviews are an opportunity to discuss motivations, potential opportunities, and areas upon which focus growth. Management may offer incentives for employee performance, including recommendations such as pay increase, professional development opportunities, and or endorsement for the employee spotlight. Those are rewards. After identifying areas of growth, employees are encouraged to attend continuously available training and development sessions to take advantage of job shadowing and mentorship opportunities and suggest training opportunities that would like to pursue that are not currently offered. In addition to the quarterly reviews, managers are responsible for regular meetings with team members. All of the meetings regard what is that sound? That is weird. Anyway, I'm gonna keep my hands off the desk. Sorry about that, y'all. So yeah, anyway, in addition to the quarterly reviews, managers are responsible for regular team meetings with team members. All meetings regarding employee performance should be clear about the goals, expectations, provide employees with fair and useful feedback. and be documented for future reference and support future performance evaluations. Meet org values honesty, trust, fairness, respect, responsibility, and courage. These values should guide all of the external and internal business relationships, projects, strategic decisions in the organization. However, HR has observed other aspects of meat or culture that can contribute to employee turnover. Employees that express Employees express that feedback is not valued and that there are not sufficient mechanisms in place for conveying feedback. Employees find that workflow processes are inefficient and can lead to confusion. Some employees report that recognition activities are disrupted. About a quarterly of employees report work more than 40 hours a week, taking work home for over weekends and not feeling able to take breaks. Burning them out, bro. Employee report dissatisfaction with the ways information is disseminated through the company. Me org's leadership position continue to show little diversity, and there is a increasing number of reports of AR related to diversity. HR has also detected a shift in the culture and from consultants. Consultants with longer tenures at Me Org have preferred to travel to client headquarters and host client management at dinners and other social activities. Clients are now relying on more teleconferencing and much more conscious of cost benefit analysis and the return of investment on their projects. Clients now tend to communicate through a variety of digital platforms rather than it's 947, rather than uh, convention, telephone communication. External factors. HR has identified three external forces that either drive employee turnover or increase the cost and risk of turnover. Me or consultants are frequently approached by competing firms. Clients often offer high performing me or consultants permanent positions within their company. Recruiting contractors or permanent employees with sufficient security clearance become more difficult as the market becomes competitive. Mm, okay, that's another clue of what they do, what they claim to do versus what they don't do based on the criteria of the employee. Sometimes clients are never happy though. You got those. You got some people that just you try and you try. Just like the Pink song, gotta get up and try, try, try. And still never enough. So what do? You fire them. Okay, now I am back here. Here. I'm gonna pump my brakes here. We got always got tomorrow. So there you have it, you guys. All in a nutshell, me sitting up there doing my homework as usual. You know, nothing really is going on over here. But but I just want y'all to know that I appreciate you guys for watching me every day. I appreciate the love and the support from you guys. Like seriously, I really do. This was a bad day for me. This is a very bad day, but I stuck it out. I stuck it out. So yeah. I hope that you guys take care, be safe, and um I love you guys. And you never know, man. You never know. It'd be funny if it hits 2026 and they like, oh, imagine Donald Trump, the look on everyone's eyes if you decided to run again for president, which is can't be done. It can't be done, but they're already making the gooey eyes. I call it the gooey eyes. Like, no, we can't have that. Take care. Or find a loophole, a new loophole from the further future